Hey guys, welcome back to another Deadside video. So in this video, I'm going to be showcasing this pretty unique base. It's pretty cheap, but it's super effective when it comes on to keeping your loot safe. So pretty much this base is just a 1x1 with honeycomb, but this base is pretty good because it's going to take so much resources to actually get into that main 1x1 with all of your loot. So when it comes down to raiding bases, there's three ways in which you can go about it. One, go through the doors, two, go through the walls, or three, go through the roof. No matter which way you choose to raid this base, you're going to require to use a lot of resources. For example, to go through the doors, you'll have to use about 28 explosive charge. To go through the walls, you'll have to use roughly the same amount of 28 explosive charge. And if you're going through the roof, you'll have to use about 27 to 28 explosive charge. So no matter which way you turn, you'll have to use roughly 28 explosive charge to actually raid this base. Again, the base is a 1x1 with honeycomb, and the honeycomb is pretty strong because we're using the foundation, the high foundation, plus another wall behind that high foundation to give you added protection. So if you go through the front door, you'll have all your deployables here. You'll have your concrete mixer, metal planner, workbench, grill, and also your wood planer. And then we have up here some auto turrets, and then we move on to the second part. This is just some extra added doors. Come in here, another extra added door. Here is where some things get a little bit juicy, but yeah, this is another added door. Come in here, another added door, and then this is our final loot room. So if we close this, I have my sleeping bag right there. I have my trophy wall. I know this doesn't give me as much comfort as I wanted, but this is still useful because you can place some trophies here. You can place some fish stuff right there to give you more comfort in your base. Now behind this double door is our main loot room. Before we go in there, just remember that this is just a 1x1. It's just one square foundation and it has a ton of loot. So let's get into it. So when we go in, we have the generator. Then we have on this side, the right side, 3 large boxes. On this side, we have 4 small boxes, and in the middle, we have 2 small boxes. So that's a lot of loot, plus our storage. So that's a lot of loot for pretty much a cheap base. Now to maintain this base is very cheap. Let's go ahead and take a look at our storage. So to maintain this base for 24 hours, you're going to need only 4 sheet metal and 8 concrete. That is ridiculously cheap. So if you get something like, for example, 80 and 40, your base is going to be available for 10 days, and you don't really have to do anything. That's pretty awesome. And again, it's going to require so much for somebody to actually raid this base. Now this base design is pretty simple, but I want to show you guys how to do it, especially this part right here where we have this triangle inside of a square and it has 2 doorways. That is pretty broken. So I'm going to be showing you guys how to build this base. It's very simple. Just follow along and you'll be good. So the first thing that you want to do is place down some foundations, a 1x2, and then you're going to place some triangles at the outer section. Then you're going to go ahead and place some walls. Now we're doing this in progressive stages, like you're actually playing the game. So the first thing that you're going to want to do is this that we're doing right now. You're going to go ahead and place some roofs on your base. And then once that is done, you're going to place some doors. So this is what you should have when you start. A 1x2 with a airlock. So you're going to go ahead and place down your storage because your storage is necessary for your base. So go ahead and place it in this corner right here. Make sure to place it as close as possible. And once that is done, you're going to go ahead and place yourself a shelf. Now this is where we're going to be storing our loot and keeping our base secure with the storage. So then we're going to go ahead and start to upgrade. So you can put a double door right here because you need to also secure this location. So go ahead and place a double door. Now we're going to go ahead and upgrade our base. So we're going to first destroy this thing right here. Then we're going to place a triangle like this. And then we're going to place some more doorways. So it's going to cost them a little bit more to get into the base. Now we're going to go ahead and upgrade the base. I suggest that you upgrade the walls before you put the high foundations on it. So how this works is pretty simple. Once you upgrade this wall, if I were to upgrade this to logs and then go ahead and destroy the logs. So let's go ahead and remove the logs. you'll still have this wall to protect yourself. So you're gonna have the eye foundation along with this wall to protect your loot. So go ahead and place the high foundations after you've upgraded your walls first. Because if you don't, they're gonna stay twig and then they're gonna be easily destroyed. So make sure that you upgrade these first. Then you can go ahead and place your honeycomb, which is the high walls. This one is going to also be destroyed. The wall is going to fall down, which is fine. All you need to do is place a triangle there, then place a high wall and destroy this one right here. Out here, we're going to add another, at the front part, we're going to add another triangle and in the square. And then we're going to go ahead and place some walls. This is where we're going to be placing our deployables like the workbench and the other tools that we can place inside the main part of our base. We're going to add some more doorways for more protection. So one there and add some doors. If everything is done well, this is what we should have. We should have a 1x1 honeycombed with the doorways leading to our base. So now we're going to be upgrading it. We're going to do it from the top. Make sure that you upgrade your ceilings to the highest tier possible. And this is going to protect your base from getting raid because it's going to cost more to actually raid. Then you're going to upgrade these to sheet metal. You don't have to go to the highest tier. Just go to sheet metal. Sheet metal is pretty good for the high foundations. And then you're going to make sure that these ones on the outer part are also sheet metal. This one, you're going to make it be the highest one as well. Because if they get through here, they're going to have the doors to go through. So you want to make sure that they have to spend enough to get there. Now what we're going to do is we're going to honeycomb the top. So honeycomb the top, we're going to need 2 layers on top. So we're going to need these layers to be honeycombed as well. Because if you don't honeycomb them, it's going to cause the base to be a little bit weaker than it should be. So we're going to go ahead and honeycomb this. So when they're going through the top part, they'll have to use upwards of 20 plus explosives to actually get through. So I'm going to go ahead and upgrade this and then move on to the next layer. Now that we have all of them upgraded, we're going to go ahead and place some roofing on top of them. Next, we're going to place one more set of half walls only in the middle section, and then we're going to upgrade. And with that done, we've upgraded the top section of our base, which is going to require about 27 explosives to get through. Now we're going to be upgrading the bottom section of our base. This part can be in sheet metal. You don't have to go to the highest tier like the top part. The only thing on the bottom section that should be the highest tier is the doors, because it's going to require more for them to actually go through. So this is how inside of the main storage area for my base looks. So this is my sleeping bag outside, and then we have a double door. If you open that double door, we have 3 large boxes and 4 small boxes on this shelf, and then another 2 here, and then we have our storage right there. So this is a very compact but efficient storage. You can store a good amount of stuff, and it's also pretty hard to get to it because, again, I did mention how much you actually have to use to get into this base. So yeah, pretty much that's the video. Hopefully this base gives you guys some idea on how you want to build yours. But if you like the video, please go ahead, leave a like on the video, and consider subscribing to the channel for future content.